What if I told you there's a country where you can live like a king on just 10 euros a day? A place where a hearty lunch, freshly baked warm bread, and a cup of aromatic green tea cost less than a coffee at an Italian bar. Welcome to Uzbekistan, one of the least known and most surprising countries on the planet. Today, I'll guide you through 10 truths that nobody tells you about this fascinating corner of the world. And the number one reason will forever change the way you think about off-the-beaten-path travel. Before we start, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the upcoming documentaries. 10. Living like a king on less than 10 euros a day. In Uzbekistan, with the equivalent of 10 euros, you can live an entire day without giving up anything. A plate of plov, the national rice dish with meat, carrots, and spices, costs about 2 euros. Bread baked in a clay oven is almost always served hot and fragrant for just a few cents. Tea? In many places, it's free. And if you think finding accommodation is a problem, you're wrong. In Tashkent, a furnished apartment costs between 100 and 400 euros a month, depending on the area. But behind these low prices lies a truth: local salaries are very low. The average salary is between 350 and 500 euros. So people are forced to manage every expense with extreme precision. A simple life, but a dignified one. 9. An Islamic country, but surprisingly free. 90% of the Uzbek population is Muslim. And yet, anyone expecting a strict, conservative country that restricts women will be surprised. Here, there are no legally imposed dress codes. Women walk down the street in miniskirts or shorts, run businesses, work in the media, and sit in parliament. Tea replaces alcohol in many traditional ceremonies. And yet, in the cities, it's not uncommon to find bars serving whiskey or vodka. Religion is experienced in a personal and respectful way, deeply intertwined with local culture, but without impositions or extremism. It's an idea of the Islamic world you wouldn't expect, and it really makes you think. 8. Tashkent, subway, or underground museum. Imagine taking the metro and finding yourself in an art gallery. The Tashkent Metro, built in 1977, is the first in Central Asia. But it's not just a means of transportation, it's an architectural gem. Stations with crystal chandeliers, vaulted ceilings painted with stars and moons, marble columns, mosaics dedicated to writers and scientists. Every stop is a story. And yet, despite this marvel, very few foreigners know about it. Traveling here is like flipping through a history book underground. I challenge you, is there a metro in Italy that can move you this much? 7. The automotive paradox: everything is Chevrolet. In Uzbekistan, wherever you go, you'll only see Chevrolets. From taxis to police cars, from delivery vehicles to private cars. But why? In 2008, the government made a deal with General Motors. Cars are produced directly in Uzbekistan, cutting down costs. Imported cars, on the other hand, have extremely high taxes. The result? 94% of vehicles are Chevrolets. An entire nation with just one car brand. An economic choice, sure, but also a form of national identity shaped by industry. Have you ever seen anything like this? 6. Tea isn't just a drink, it's a sacred ritual. You can drink tea anywhere in Uzbekistan, and it's never just about quenching your thirst. Tea, whether black or green, accompanies every moment of the day, from morning to night. It's offered to guests, drunk with family, served in bazaars, restaurants, even in open-air markets. But be careful, the amount poured into the cup has meaning. A full cup is a polite but clear message: it's time to go. A cup poured only halfway? Stay a while longer, we still have more to talk about. In a country where words matter, tea is a language without a voice. 5. The ancient beauty of public baths that have lasted 600 years. Have you ever heard of hammams? They are ancient Uzbek baths, true oases of steam, relaxation, and culture. In cities like Samarkand and Bukhara, some of these places have been operating for over 6 centuries. Domed ceilings, natural steam, the scent of herbs, ritual silences. Here, people come to wash, of course, but also to socialize, meditate, even to arrange marriages. It's an experience that goes far beyond hygiene. It's an open door to the deepest dimension of local culture. And could you completely let yourself go in a bath from the 4th century? If all this is surprising you, don't stop now. The second part of the video will take you through the architectural wonders of the Silk Road, the most spectacular wedding celebrations in the world, and a way of experiencing the night that you'd never expect from a Muslim country. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the second part of this journey. And let me know in the comments what has surprised you the most about Uzbekistan so far. 4. The Korsu Market, the beating heart of the country. In every big city, there's a place where real life happens. In Uzbekistan, that place is the Korsu Bazaar in the heart of Tashkent. Under a gigantic blue dome, scents, colors, and voices come together. Some sell dried fruit, others spices, others freshly baked bread from clay ovens. Hand-woven carpets, embroidered fabrics, ceramics with age-old designs. Every stall tells a story. It's not just a market, it's a collective choreography, alive and ongoing. Street food, steaming plav, fragrant samsa, freshly grilled shashlik. The vendors offer you a taste, not to make you buy, but to welcome you. Walking through the corridors of the Korsu means feeling the true heartbeat of the country. 3. Weddings with 1,000 guests and cauldrons holding 1,000 leaders. In Uzbekistan, a wedding isn't a private event, it's a collective celebration. It starts before dawn, with the preparation of plav in huge cast-iron cauldrons, stirred with wooden paddles as big as oars. The aroma drifts out into the street, and everyone is welcome. Traditional weddings can even last 3 days. Plenty of food, traditional dances, and vibrant clothing. Live music alternates between ancient instruments and modern beats. And then there's tightrope walking, performers on a wire stretched 20 meters high, with no safety net, surrounded by drums and a collective hush. It's a show that blends the sacred and the profane, risk and celebration, and it says a lot about the Uzbek spirit, resilient, proud, and deeply communal. Number 2. The Nights of Tashkent, bars, clubs, and freedom. And what if I told you that one of the Muslim-majority countries has one of the freest and safest nightlife scenes in Asia? At night, Tashkent transforms. Rooftop bars with views over the illuminated city, European-style pubs serving local beer and acoustic music. And then there are nightclubs open until 4 in the morning, where DJs mix electronic sounds with traditional instruments. Fashionably dressed girls dance without feeling watched. Couples toast outdoors under the lights of the night bazaars. Groups of friends dance in the street. And it often happens that a traditional dancer improvises a routine and gets all the passers-by involved. This isn't just openness, it's a rare form of cultural freedom, hard to imagine until you experience it. And above all, it's a place where you feel safe, even alone, even at night. 1. The Great Paradox, living well and still having to leave. Here we are at the most delicate point, the truest one. Uzbekistan is one of the cheapest, most hospitable, and most fascinating countries in the world. And yet, millions of Uzbek citizens live and work abroad. Why? Because, despite its beauty, wages remain extremely low. Opportunities for many are few. And so they leave, to Russia, to Turkey, to Europe. Those who stay adapt, but often live with a distant longing for something better. Uzbekistan is a country of deep contrasts, spiritual and modern, welcoming and challenging, colorful and demanding. And maybe that's exactly its charm, a real, human, imperfect place where living costs little but is worth a lot. Traveling in Uzbekistan isn't just crossing a territory, it's stepping through a threshold in time, from the Middle Ages to the present day, from the silence of the deserts to the lights of the clubs. Here, everything coexists. The madrasas of Samarkand and the white Chevrolets on the boulevards of Tashkent, tea shared under the stars, and electronic dances in the bars. It's a country that's not easy to capture in a photo, but it stays with you. And when you come back home, you don't just tell the story of a trip. You tell of an experience that taught you to see the world with new eyes.